welcome to the first ever episode of Space and Spaces on YouTube, a talk show where we'll be talking about stuffs and things related to spirituality, science, and technology. Today, we have a very special episode as it is our first. We're going to be talking about moi, your one and only host, or one of your hosts, MK Musician, aka Vasuvian, as some of you also know me. And we also have my brother from another mother, this wonderful artist I've got to know for quite some time now, almost, I guess, close to 6 months now, almost. And that is Mr. Neelesh, aka Ruzakan, as some of you know him. Mr. Ruzakan, how are you doing today, bro?
Yeah, but I'm doing fine. And
Awesome.
thank you so much. And thank you so much for inviting me here. Yeah,
definitely,
so
bro.
much.
It's gonna be a great journey, right? We're gonna be hosting some wonderful people together in the future as well, talking about different topics. But today we're gonna talk about you and me, at least to start with, right? So we're gonna be interviewing each other today about our own backgrounds, how we started our journey, and so on. And we'll begin without further ado with Mr. Neelesh, aka Mr. Ruzakan. So, Mr. Ruzakan, why don't you tell us a little about yourself, bro? I mean, how did your life journey start from the beginning? And I know you like me to translate every now and then, so I'll help you out if you have to speak a little in Hindi. And tell us about where you are, where you're from, and we'll go from there, bro. And about how your whole life has been going through, how you ended up in NFT. You're a wonderful NFT artist now. The whole 9 years, bro. Whatever you want to start with, or whatever you want to share. So go ahead, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vasuvian, for inviting me, and I'm so much happy. Like, actually, this is my first interview also. I haven't done and this is my live interview for the first time. Yeah, and you want to talk about my how it started my journey, and it's means there's a long story for me to start this journey, because I haven't done before this when I started my journey, like I haven't know about like NFTs, and after coming to this spaces and most of the artists, I came to know like there are more artists like me also who are not into art, but they have some feelings or they want to tell about their story. Okay, so this is how I started my like NFT journey. And NFT journey is not about you are the only artist, like a basic artist. They're already there. Yeah, and there I know they are the great artist, but some of the persons like they have their story or they have something like a they know means what's going on through their life or something like that. So it's also a story which people don't know about it. So yeah, and this is how I started my life journey. And means
So what about your journey before NFT, bro? We were discussing a little before we got into this interview about your childhood, and you always wanted to do something yourself, not depend on your parents and whatnot. So tell us a little about there, bro. Everyone would, I'm sure, would like to know a little more about you.
means actually I don't have my parents when I was at just I'm a teenager at that time, so I lost my parents. And means when I was in my school timing, my mother was dead, and after that my father was took care of me, and I don't have any sisters or like actually in India, like we have like supportive, like uh, if you have any female, they're gonna like cook or something like that, na. But that opportunity I don't go. I haven't that like opportunity from the childhood. I cook, clean, and whole of the house. So yeah, and even my father, and when my mother was gone, my father was so depressed. He only told me like, I will drink. Before he was not drinking, okay, before he was not drinking, but he told me like, I will drink and I will uh, kill myself, something like that. Every day he was to told me like that, and we were so depressed. And my younger brother at that time, he was just passing 12th class, means SSC schools. Yeah. And at that time I was I'm the second year on at that time at my college. Yeah. At that time, even me, I will talk about myself. I haven't thought about like what my father was trying to say, or what he was experienced by himself when he is lost his soulmate. Yeah, and he always told me like, I have done everything for you, like insurance or something like that, what every father does. He already done, and he told us like, I have written on that diary, just go to that diary and you will get everything from there. Yeah. So that was my hardships. And yeah, you know what, bro, Vasuvian, like, uh, I don't want, that's my personal feeling. I don't want uh, every parent should suffer from that journey I have gone through. I don't want like every parent should go from that. Like, if you want to die, okay, let it be die. If you want to die, die, means suddenly die. But don't torture your children. Like, I have suffered, and even my brother has suffered, youngest brother. He has suffered also. Like, means he was too drunk at that time when I was doing my college. Yeah, and suddenly he was not eating. Also, he's not having your lunch or like breakfast and dinner.
So
Yeah,
he basically kind of decided to not go with life
yeah,
anymore.
yeah, yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
decided
Because
to possibly give up.
yeah,
Okay.
because he want to go with his soulmate, because he loves my mother so much that he at that time he only care about like, uh, मेरे पास I have something like amount that I have told my children like, you can go through that diary and you can got through from it. So that was his plan, and he want to like live his life. But you know what? This is the game of, whether you say like Allah, God, I don't know, but it's a destination of like a God. He want to feel us like, uh, when at that time, means I will tell you about that story a little bit. Uh, when I saw him like he's not eating anything, okay, only he's drinking. So we took my father to my that hospital, and he was admitted, and he was also in ventilator at that time. No, but you know what? Before he's going to ventilator, he talked about me for 2 minutes. He's means like he get up from bed and he's smiling, and that was the last face I saw about my father. And he's smiling and बोलता है मैं तो ठीक हूँ यार, means he's saying like, I am all right bro, मुझे यहाँ पे क्यों लेके आए, means why I'm in this hospital, because he doesn't know, he's unconscious at that time. तो बोला no 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 for papa, uh, you just rest. And at that time, and me and my brother, my younger brother, at that time, and my friend also told me, means you haven't eat, let's go to the dhaba. Actually, we call that dhaba in India, and let's get some food at least because you haven't eaten from the past one day.
Dhaba is like a small kind of restaurant, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because at night we can't open a restaurant
Right,
here,
right.
and it's a late night, like 2 a.m. around.
Yeah,
So the
it's like a
dhaba is the
small
only.
desi. For those of you who don't know, dhaba is like a small restaurant for food eating. You know, there's some tables you could go and eat in the middle of the night also, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
And
so go,
yeah,
continue, bro.
yeah, and we were eating at that time. At that time, my father got a second heart attack. Maybe that's what doctor have told us, and they're searching for us, but we were not available at that time because before at that time I have talked to my father, and he said like I'm all right, and even doctor said he is normal now. But suddenly I don't know how second heart attack came to him, and his brain was dead at that time. So for the past 2 months, we were there actually, me and my younger brother, whole night, whole day, 24 hours. We were there at the hospital. We were sleeping on the floor, only come to a visit, just to change our dress at our home. And after 2 months, they every day the doctors, they're the senior doctors, they always told me like uh, he gonna be all right. Someday he will come. Someday he will come back. And at that time also, he's gonna got a bed sore. You know what is bed sore? Like uh, for
What is
too
that?
much he's only
Hmm.
for too much he's only laying. So his back was like it's called a bed sore. Like I don't know how to talk in English, but गड्ढा हो गया था पीछे on the back side of hips.
Like it
Okay.
curved in his back because he was on the bed too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And no physical activities was going on. She's
Oh, like
just a
his
laying on.
bottom, did it become paralyzed or something? Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because his brain was dead at that time.
okay.
So yeah, and this happened, and for the 2 months, my father was there in the hospital, and doctor told me like, ये तुम्हारा जो पप्पा है ना, वो मतलब ऐसे ही रहेगा, because he's on a ventilator means his heart was only pumping through the ventilator.
Means he was more like in a coma. Like
Yeah, but
not necessarily coma. They call it like vegetation state, something like that. Like his brain is only
something
keeping
like
him alive, nothing else. Like his
yeah, yeah,
body
yeah.
is not necessarily doing anything.
No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. There was a physiotherapy doctor who always come to like he do the physiotherapy like his legs and bodies and something like that, and he told me like he's not going to give alive at that 2 months. Okay, and he told me like only gonna alive for 1 or 2 weeks after you take from the hospital. You know what? Me and my brother, we went upon to 6 months. We don't know nothing about like how to feed that man, because uh, how we are feeding like he has a pipe from his this neck.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
pipe was
remember
stuck. Yeah, and
my brother who had
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
suffered
I
from
know, I
breast
know.
cancer. Yeah, 20 years. He had the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, carry on, bro. Carry on.
So yeah, so every time uh, we used to miss 4 to 5 times. We have to feed like about, we have to grind something like fruits or only vegetable, and we like uh, put from this injection, and he's feeding from this herd, and we are something like we are giving also something like uh, powders which is beneficial for health. I don't know, but what I know was it's not my money. It's not my money, and it is my father's money. Maybe shayad, maybe he will woke up someday. For the 8 months, I only expected to like he's gonna means workout, is gonna work out. No, nothing gonna work out, and suddenly, and at that time of monetization in India, you know what monetization in India happened? Uh, when all currency was like banned.
Oh yeah, like the big notes, the big
Yeah, yeah,
money notes were banned. Like high
and
notes, like
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
like 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees, something like that, right?
yeah,
Were
yeah,
banned.
yeah, yeah. Monetization at that time, and at that time we can't withdraw that money from the ATM also, because for 2 or 3 days we have to spend like about 4 to 5 thousand. So there is nothing much more going on after that. This happened on like 8th of November. Monetization happened at 16th November. My father died when I was in the line of that bank, and we have so much long line. And yeah, my younger brother told me like he's not breathing here, man. Where are you? मैं बोला यार पैसे निकालने के लिए आया था, पैसे नहीं है अपने पास. So
I mean, you went there to get the money out, and because you didn't have enough money.
yeah, because yeah, so that was my father's stage. Sorry. Yeah, and after that what happened? For the 1 year, for 1 year I kept, even me, I haven't drunk too much. I drank never, but from that day I started drinking because of this happened incident. So for the 1 year I drank too much. Yeah, bro. And suddenly what happened? You know what? My friend was working on a Pune. He's on Mumbai, and he told me that he want to start a new business. What he learned from his where he's working. Okay, so from there, and he want me, because actually I'm so conscious about like technology, AI, something machine learning. I was so into that. So from there I started my journey. I suddenly packed 2 or 3 clothes of mine, and I just ran up to my friends, and he kept his in her in his home. And from there we started my journey of like a survival. And yeah, you know what? We work out about on that. We means startup. We just start up our journey, and we have made so much money that on that 2 years, 2017 to 2018, 19, yeah, and we make so much money that we already on the 2 years we already uh, like opened our second branches in our city.
So what were you doing that? What was it or like you moved there for like technology and stuff, right? Like AI animation, machinery. You like
No,
all
no,
that.
no, 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 no. At
What
that
you
time I
went
was
there
not
for?
involved.
Go ahead.
Yeah, at that time I was not involved into AI, but I have keen knowledge on AI and machine learning. But
Okay.
they don't know because it's a new stage at that time, 2016 or 17 at that time.
Okay. Oh,
So
you
yeah,
already knew about that. You wanted to explore those back then
yeah,
already.
yeah, and because I'm
That's
getting
good.
a,
That's
yeah,
great.
I'm getting that opportunity. So I have used that in my business. They don't know about they know about CRM or something like we do, but they don't know about like how to use AI in the CRM, or like how they can automatic email, or like we do in a nowadays. If you fill any form, like you're gonna get that response in within a few seconds. They're gonna don't know about it. So my friend told me like, you know something about it. Come, let's do business, and they have partnered me, and even I have invested on that. Yeah, but I never get that money, bro. Yeah.
That's
So
yeah, it's part of the life that happens. But what was it
so
what was it that bro that where you started the business about your agri business or agribusiness, however they say it, like with the
no, no,
mushroom?
no, 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 no. Yeah, I am coming that from
Okay.
2020, when a pandemic came. Yeah, for the 1 year, we when we shifted to our second means second branch. Okay. I told you before, like we have already, like in my city, we have opened our branch. Yeah, within our 2 years. So we thought like we will run this branch by ourselves, and we will run that branch by our colleagues. Yeah, who are already like doing manager in the post. So at that time, suddenly this Corona came, pandemic came, and we were about like 1 month laying about that, because we'd never know like uh, this pandemic will be so long for 3 years. So every savings we have lost, like because our uh, we have to give every month the rent of that office, which is 75,000. It's something like $1,000. Okay, it's for us. It's every month $70,000 or $75,000. It's more to us.
That's a lot. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
75,000 rupees, it's a lot. You know, I can
yeah, and
imagine.
other than that, we have so much expenses. Like we have internet expenses. We have to give salaries for the 13, 14 people. So
Oh, I didn't know that. So you actually also employed 13, 14 people
yeah,
for that business. This is the mushroom business, right?
no. At that time, that
Oh, the
I
CRM
was,
one. Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
was, yeah, at that time,
That's
yeah,
a yeah, that's a lot of expenses, bro.
yeah. It's a lot of expensive. Like it's around 2, 3 lakh, and what we call
Wow,
like
yeah.
3,000, $4,000, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
around.
yeah.
It's our monthly expenses,
Yeah,
because we have to take
two,
care.
three. For those of you who don't know what lakh is in Desi or South Asian terms, 1 lakh is 100,000 in the currency, whether it's rupees, BDT, whatever it is. But 1 lakh means 100,000. So that is a lot. 3 lakhs is like almost 300,000 local currency. So yeah,
Yeah,
man.
3 to 4,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And after that, when pandemic this happened, and we almost waste something like 6 or 7, 8 months, because only we are paying, we are getting nothing. So we have to avoid every our employers. Plus, we have to give them salary, because government had told me like if you have a business, you have to give them salary.
They were doing it
So
over, oh, for the salary. You think for the
yeah,
salary. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So 4,000, $4,000 per
Every
month.
month, every month also. After that also. So
Wow.
at that time, like we are finished. We are finished. So what happened after that, when I thought like, yeah, I'm having no money now. I can't continue with this person or my friend, because I have to survive. So I came to my auntie house, which is situated like 400 kilometers from Indore. Yeah, and after 2 3 months, I just googled, and I want to just survive at that time, and I uh, uh, came to know about like this mushroom farming, which you can grow into this shed also, in a complete room. So I have done many things, research about many things, and even I have made a fogger at that time. I'm so happy for me. Like, you are not a science person, but you have developed something like you have to do fogger. You have made that fogger, yeah, bro. Because what happened now in mushroom farming, you have to always like uh, you have to keep the wet, something like a wet,
You have to
this
keep it what
to
I am
grow that
also
mushroom, to grow
it's
that
like a
mushroom.
greenhouse. You have to have like a greenhouse atmosphere.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
what I have to
always
do,
damp. I think that's the word. It has to be like a damp atmosphere, like a little bit of wet
moisture,
uh,
like something moisture,
moisture. Yeah, you
humidity.
have to have enough
Yeah,
moisture.
because you have to maintain that moisture and humidity, both you have
Right.
to maintain. What I have do, I have something like we call bori, jute bori.
Uh-huh. Bori,
Yeah,
what do you mean by bori? Tell us. Tell me, then I'll try
uh,
to explain.
jute.
Jute,
It's
everyone knows what jute is. Yes. So bori means, are you talking about like a stack of jutes?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a stack of juice, and what we have to do is every 3 to 4 hours we can't keep it dry, so we have to give moisture, so it's
Oh,
maintain our humidity and or something like that.
that's great.
So what, yeah, so for the 1 month I thought like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, like every time 2 to 3 4 hours I have to do this do that, I have to. So what I have searched on this Google and YouTube, and I came to know about like you can also make a machine of like you can maintain like humidity something. So I purchased and something like a little it's called humidifier. There are also expensive humidifier jo means mushroom farmers are doing in a big scale. But what I have, you know what, I used that humidifier that are used on uh, mm, like aquarium. You know, like aquarium, there is a humidifier. I used that, and I used four, 4 to 5. I have used
So
that,
you
and
invented your own uh, like your own system using those
yeah, yeah.
aquarium humidifiers. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. And from that, means I came to know like, okay, if I run like 3 to 4 hours, then my whole room will be humidified, and my production will be like grow. Yeah. And the first time when I harvested my mushroom, it was this bigger. Even this is a small. My hands was a small.
It's really big, people. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
the size of
it's
a
just a
mushroom.
small room. It's just a small room. It's just a
And you
small
didn't need
room.
any lights or anything, like no sunlight needed,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 no.
Right. So just
We
a
just,
regular tube light and just humidifiers.
yeah, artificial light. What I'm doing is I am using the artificial light, and I'm using that humidifier, and it's on a grown up. And yeah, and I'm selling this on off season. And you know what? I'm selling only for 200 rupees for 1 kg. If you're
That
gonna
even
do
your
butter
cost
mushroom,
cost price was only 200 rupees.
yeah, and 200
That's
rupees,
amazing.
what you say, like um, 50 $60
That's amazing, man.
for
That's
one
your
kg.
cost price. One
Because,
one
yeah,
one
because
kilo, kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. So let's say about a 2 pounds. So so how many
hmm,
kilos did you sell? You said
every
$200.
day for this, actually I have
200 rupees.
means when I have started, I have 62 bags.
Wow. Each bag was
From
how
that,
much? Wait.
each bag was something like 700 grams, producing every day.
Wow. That's amazing. And by the way, folks, what the mushroom he's talking about is not the like
No,
narcotics. These are
it's a,
legal, like grocery food type mushrooms that people cook at home. So these are like legal mushrooms. What kind
no,
of mushrooms were they, bro?
yeah, it's called oyster mushroom. It's
Oyster
something,
mushrooms. Okay,
yeah,
oyster mushrooms.
yeah. It's called something like they're gonna means something like a chatta or something
Right,
like,
like an umbrella mushroom. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
they're not
Yeah,
button mushrooms like the one
no,
that
no,
we
no.
get from our groceries
Yeah,
here. In
I have means, yeah, yeah. I will come to that. I have tried also, like I want to grow butter mushroom, but at that time, because when I was started my journey, it was like December. At December to March, it was best for oyster mushroom, and from March to uh, October, या August, or August, September, it was best for butter mushroom.
Mhm.
And after that, you can continue about like again you can do that oyster mushroom farming. So I have researched a lot
So
about
then
like,
go ahead, bro.
yeah. So for the 3 to 4 months, I have means done this month, and some of the reviews came to me like, yeah, why you're only selling for 200 rupees? You should sell for 400 rupees. Well, no, bro,
Oh,
no.
that was your
Uh,
sale price.
yeah. You know what? I haven't gone for any classes or something like that. They always told me, I have heard on like YouTube also, you have to do classes because you have to do. I haven't do that
Yeah,
because from
that's
the,
amazing, man. But I guess let's just put it this way. You did still make a lot of profit by selling those, right?
no,
So you
no,
were
no.
still making profit.
I haven't made that profit because I have to use in this shelter. For this center, I have to use bamboo,
Uh-huh.
and from that courses when it's my first time, so I have to spend about like 6 to 7,000 rupees. It's
Okay.
like how much dollar? $100.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for I spent about that, and from that $100, I for the 3 months I cover up my whole my expenses.
That's what I'm saying. So you made profit then. You already covered your expenses.
Yeah, it's not a profit. It's something like a we have to pay about expense like what I have to do, like humidifier I have made, electricity bill. We have bamboo for the support, and we have bags. So seats cover up on the 2 to 3 months. Yeah, and
Oh, that's
after
good.
that,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Go
and
ahead, bro.
after that, yeah, yeah, and after that, what for the spare time? On the spare time, I started my journey as a affiliate marketing. That also, there are many courses on affiliate marketing, but me, I thought like, okay, it will take me about 1 to 2 months for learning this, but I don't have that money like I can spend on any courses. Okay, so I make my own website, make my own. Uh, that's a lots of thing, yeah, bro. Yeah, that's a lots of thing. So yeah, so that's how I started my affiliate marketing, and it goes about like 6 to 8 months, and I have made that profit from there without investing any 1 rupee. Okay, yeah, and suddenly at that time it was like when pandemic was getting over on 2021 on November. I came to know, though I want to know, I know about like there is already NFT existing, but haven't means what I'm not sure or something like confident about, because I know like there is a monkey sold for crore rupees. Well, I thought like maybe it's a scam or something like that.
You're
So
talking
I know
about like
that
the
amount.
apes, right? The
Yeah,
board
it's
ape.
yeah, boat
Yeah.
apes. Yeah, yeah. So I know about it, but I thought like maybe it's a scam or something. Well, I haven't uh, means get that like मैं कभी वो ध्यान नहीं दिया वहाँ पे. Okay,
I mean,
so
you didn't focus too much on that. That's what you
yeah,
say.
yeah, 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 yeah. And suddenly in 2021, I came to one day again. I came to news because every day it's gonna on a news like that monkey has sold for the lakh crore. I thought like, what is this monkey and why is it sold on crore? So now, okay, let's read about it. So from Google, I came to like, oh, there's an NFT called this, and everyone can take NFT. Actually, it's not about this monkey.
Okay.
It's not about that monkey. It's something like if you have any art or something like that, you can sell it on like this cryptocurrency. And before I don't know about anything about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and what it was. So for the 1 month, I keep on reading and keep researching on this. And from the March, yeah, I haven't told you like at the spare time, I also made like YouTube channel. I have opened my YouTube channel, and it was related to affiliate marketing also. And at that time, because I was not into like editing or something like that, so at that time I was using AI because I was already, I told you like when I was gone to Pune with my friend, so I was already fascinated about AI and how it's works. So when this came like about these NFTs, so I thought like, can I use AI as an NFT?
So you naturally started thinking about if there is AI and NFTs, let me do research if they're making AI NFTs or AI
Yeah,
art. And that's how
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
got it. Because you were
yeah,
way ahead, bro, about it. So that's amazing. So you started your NFT journey from the beginning with AI, right? And
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
already been what, like 4 or 5 months or more by now.
Yeah, it's by, yeah, 4 to 5 months for now.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, tell us a little, bro. How did you find out about AI art and AI animation? Because
Yeah,
it
as
eventually we kind of related to that, and then we started our project together, right? The Vasuvia project. We'll talk about it a little at the end. But Tell us about how that. I know we're already like 30 minutes into the event, and you wanted to ask me some questions. We'll get to that later. Tell us a little about how you got into the AI animation and AI art, and also about how you got, whichever way. You can talk a little about that a little first, or you can talk about a little about how you got interested into the type of art you do, which is like, well, not necessarily with just aliens, but reptilians. Majority of your art has to do with reptilians. Some of them are different. So whichever you want to talk a little about
Yeah, yeah,
first,
yeah.
man. Talk maybe 5 minutes about the type of art you do, and 5 minutes about, a few minutes about how you got into the AI art. Whichever you want to talk first, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, and thank you so much for asking me this question. Yeah, and yeah, because what happened when my grandfather or some of the grandfather friends, they when I used to go to that village at my grandparents' village, that at that time there was no electricity. Okay, so they told me that we have seen something like a game or something that, and suddenly it goes up. So I told them like maybe it's a spiritual or something like that, or maybe it's a god. It's because at that time our grandparents also something like educated. Maybe something. It's not like before 200, 300 years ago. Okay, so maybe they told us like, yeah, something light came upon the down and it's suddenly gone up. So there are more and more stories I know about it, which my parents and my grandparents told about. Even my grandparents' friends also told when we used to at uh, when we used to visit at their places. Yeah. So these incident came always struck from my mind from the science childhood. Like, who are these? It's a god or something like maybe spiritual or something like. And suddenly like when I grown up, I came to incident like about these US rowan something like that.
You're talking
Rowan
about the
incident.
UFOs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, the
UFOs
UFOs.
are, yeah, yeah, at
Which
19.
nowadays is called UAPs. I know everyone is educated about this, but I'm still gonna put it out. So UFOs are unidentified flying objects. So they don't necessarily mean per se that they're like aliens, but they're unidentified. Means there's at least the government or everyone claims they don't know where this technology is from.
Yeah,
According
that's
to
why it's called yeah, that's why it's
yeah,
called unidentified. Yeah,
right.
even
And now
government,
they call it
even
UAP, I think, right? Unidentified aerial phenomena, because they could be, they're not only objects, they could be like a light, like you said, a light, something came down. And then this is amazing. And how long ago was that, bro?
I don't know. It was my maybe that I haven't seen that. It was my when my grandparents were there
Right. So that's
and they saw
like
it.
100 years or something ago, roughly, you think?
Yeah,
Or
maybe,
like
maybe.
50, 60 years ago?
Yeah, yeah, you can say that 60 to 70 years ago or something like
Wow.
100 because my grandparents was 106 years when they died.
106 years. Wow, amazing. Okay, carry on, bro.
Yeah. So you can imagine like what they've seen in their whole life. Yeah. So so yeah, and this I have at that time when I was a teenager or something like that, we came to know like there was UFO, there was incident about Roswell, and at 1947 there was many like have seen like UFOs, and it's all started when Hiroshima, when America bombed in Japan.
Yes,
You
I
hear
think they say it probably spiked a
1945,
little more.
1945. Yeah,
They
it's
believe
when
the
1945.
sightings spiked a little more after that. There's
Yeah,
even documentation that there's one of there's a lot of at least in the US there's some famous one. There are other places too. I think in Russia and UK, all over the world, even in India. Like you said, your parents and your grandparents, they definitely there was more even earlier than we know about nowadays. But there were also two of the famous ones in US is the Phoenix Lights. A lot of people know about that. And then the other one, that is Phoenix Lights is more recent. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe in the last 25 years, something like that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. And one of the earliest ones, I think, is from the 50s or 60s. I forgot who the president was. And they literally saw a whole bunch of uh, lights flying
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
capital, the
yeah.
state capital in Washington, D.C. And everyone
Washington.
was
Yeah, yeah,
shocked. And it's
yeah,
and the video footage is still out there. If you guys haven't seen it, it's not a fake
yeah.
one.
I have seen. I
The
have
real
seen.
one. So
Yeah.
that one was amazing. That if you any of you haven't seen it, just search for UFOs over state capitol. You know, in Washington D.C. You might be able to track it down. It's still out there somewhere. But yeah, bro, carry on. I didn't want to stop you. I know this is more really exciting for me too. So, but go ahead, bro. I didn't know about. I have known this guy, folks, for a few months now. He's like more than a brother to me now. But even though I say, he's like my brother from another mother, he's like maybe if there was another life, we'd be probably the same brother together. So, but I didn't even know about this story about his grandparents. I just learned with you guys right now. So yeah, bro, carry on, carry on.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, as I was telling about, like, as I'm growing up, I know about like this incident about like UFO, why they are after the nuclear bomb, where their presence is so much more in our Earth. Okay, this is the one phase, and as you told, like why I'm only concentrated on like reptilians. Uh, at that time, I've already read a story about like reptilians. They're ruling our world maybe at the past time, maybe out 3 to 4,000 years ago. They were reptilians. Okay, that I believe. Maybe I'm not maybe I'm like not true about this fact, but I do believe like they were reptilians. So yeah,
Right.
I thought like
That's like
yeah,
your personal. He's basically
yeah,
saying, you're basically you putting it out there. It's your own belief. Doesn't
yeah.
matter. Everyone has to believe. But there are some people also believe that there were these beings who are like
No, no,
reptilian.
no. Actually, there is also the reason. If you go to Egypt, Greek, Mayan, or something like that, when they were 3 to 4,000 to this years ago, they already made that reptilians like a drawing or in a hieroglyphs.
Yes. So they based on understanding or his research on the Egyptian hieroglyphs and all, Sumerians also, they had
Yeah,
something
yeah.
similar.
What?
So based on his research, he has belief about that there were beings, or probably still are beings, that are reptilian-like looking beings, and anything is possible. We're not saying that these are true or
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
or
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, right,
And I
right,
have
right.
some similar beliefs about some other stuff too. We'll get to that, but we're just taking everyone to take everything with a grain of salt. We're not telling everyone that everything is true or not. This is based on personal research and personal belief and understanding. That's what he's sharing, and that is okay, everyone. So yeah, bro, carry on.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying like there are only species like reptilians. There are many species here who want to like controlling our Earth. I don't know. That's my belief because when you go to like Sumerian or Mayan, there are many gods. Even Egyptians also like like their head were like something like this. Any human brain, yeah, for head never is gonna like this. It's gonna like this. So we also found that there is a huge head also. And yeah, as in Indian mythology, I'm from India, so there is like 4 to 5,000 gods that I know because I'm Indian, but I'm also a Christian, so I don't know about it much in detail. But yeah, as a Hindu mythology, I know like there are means like 4 to 5,000 gods. Actually, these gods are avatars. You know avatar?
Yeah, you mean
It's a
avatar. In English, they say avatar, which is avatar. Avatar word came from the word avatar, the Sanskrit word. So,
yeah,
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 go ahead, bro.
yeah. And avatar means it's a same person who is reborn as a something like a spiritual or something like a god. Okay, it's avatar. Like Krishna have a means so many avatars. Shiva also have so many avatars. Hanuman have so many avatars. So for the every means there are so many things. Yeah. So these avatars from the periodically they came and they were the same persons, but they came if someone came in our world right now in dhoti kurta or something like in that age, so they're gonna think who is this god, who is this person, if this and that the same person is gonna suit. That's my opinion. If he that god is arrive us at the like he's gonna suit and something like that, oh he's a god. Like he's I know him because he's in our
You're
condition
basically
like
saying there
something
would
like
be cultural references then. I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
can relate to that. That's why in different times there were different versions
No,
according to your
you know what,
understanding.
Vasuvian, there is also means at the same time you can see like Egyptian or Mayan or Chinese or India, they were the same god, what I believe, but what we as a human what we have done is we have like worn them as a costume, like if you're Chinese he will be dragon, if he's Mayan so he will something like a as that costume as a that traditional.
According to
So
their culture, they basically made them look something similar.
actually
So
he's a
like
one
there is a
god.
version of Thor in also Indian mythology. They have something where who is it with the
Hanuman,
lightning
Hanuman,
one?
Hanuman.
Is it Hanuman with the lightning
No,
or
no, 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 no.
okay?
Actually,
That's
he's a like gada.
yes. So he has something similar. Then there's Zeus in one culture, and there's a version of Zeus in another culture, and similar with all the different gods. Yes. So
Yeah, I'm giving you like example like Chinese make a movie of Monkey King. You know,
and
Monkey
there's a
King.
Hanuman in the
Yeah,
Indian mythology.
same here. They know they both live in the Himalayas. They both have a stick. Means Chinese they have a version of a stick and we have a version of gada, and both are like humanoid monkey. Okay, so it's the same. It's
They
the
have
same.
relations. Even there's a possibility that that they have definitely. It feels like they're related. According to me, also in my opinion, I believe in yours too. But there's also like a possibility that at least a version, whether they are not, they might not be exactly the same, but there could be a version of this being, whoever it was, that
Yeah,
existed from where people started making stories and, like they say, I think lores. In I like you know I speak Bengali. Bengali they say kissa. In Hindi they have
yeah.
something similar, right? So
Similar kissa,
yeah,
kissa.
kissa, right? So those are like mythical stories or lores or legends, and then they start
Mm.
making just like maybe in the future I believe that when our kids grow up, they might use comic books. It's a possibility as their
Yeah.
mythological
Mm.
artifacts because that's what they're doing, right? A lot of the characters, like for example, Marvels and other,
Yeah.
they have the same
I want.
superpower. Thor
Yeah, yeah,
has.
yeah.
Thor literally is named after a mythological character, and then there is also some of the other characters that are in
Jews,
there.
Hercules, they are these are
Right,
the matlab, yeah, these are the means character like they are already using in this Marvels.
right. So
Okay,
they might be
yeah,
using future generation might be using the comic books. It's a possibility as
yeah,
something they believe in. You know,
yeah.
they're
Actually,
all based
Marvel,
on something similar. Like Dwarka is has been discovered next to India.
yeah. I will tell you about it.
Right.
What is Dwarka? I have visited there,
Okay.
but yeah, and as a Christian, I have visited Dwarka. It's the last part of our India continent. After that, there is a huge oceans, and after that, there is a Pakistan.
You mean the after the border of India?
Yeah,
Okay.
at that border, it was called a Dwarka. When Krishna, after his when he became a king or something like that, he's situated or something like वहाँ पे अपना बसाया उसने अपना नगरी बसाया.
That was his civilization or his city. The
Yeah,
city of Dwarka was
yeah,
there. And so
yeah. It's
that
called Dwarka.
basically, yeah, so that basically people tell that Dwarka was an actual city. So there was at least a civilization and beings that may have lived there, that's similar to Ram and Krishna and so on. And there are
Yeah, yeah,
potteries
yeah.
there that have apparently been dated back to almost 30, 40,000.
13th, 14th century. Huh, yeah.
Right. Or even earlier, I think, right? So,
And yeah,
yeah,
maybe
so
as a
yeah, I
yeah.
heard something
And
maybe.
you know what? You know what? You know what? It's also called an Atlantis of India
Yeah,
because because its whole Nagri, बोले तो his whole was flooded by these oceans.
yeah, and I want to point this out. What
And
unless you can
every
agree.
scientist, even international scientists, have discovered like, yeah, we have found that.
Yeah, so basically, Nilesh, you can correct me, Mr. Ruzakan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and then we're gonna start. We're already getting close to an hour, so we need to start wrapping them up in a few. And then if you want to ask me some questions, I'll get to that. But there is a theory now, just like about the pyramids. Like, in our current civilization, everyone uses similar buildings and architecture. It's changing slowly with new architecture coming in the 21st century, but that's how the majority of the cities are now changing the shapes of the buildings. Same thing with the pyramids, because at the time of the pyramids, in all the different continents, everyone had similar things, like in Africa, in the US, in the North America, not just Mexico, but in the United States, in Canada, all over the North American continent, South America, South Africa, everywhere people have found architecture that's similar to like the pyramids in Egypt. So this is not the only place. Same thing now they're saying about the way Atlantis was described. Apparently, that was the design they were following all over the world. So now they have started finding similar architecture, just like Atlantis was defined in different parts of the world. It could be in India, in the US, everywhere they had similar design, just like Atlantis. So there was not like one city that was like Atlantis. There were many.
Even you know what, Atlantis was found in a desert also.
Yeah, there's one in, I think in somewhere in Africa. I think they found something similar. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Some say it might be like corrosion
Maybe
from the
because
water.
it's because of that structure. What
Right.
they
There's a possibility they
about
say.
like
Right.
Atlantis.
But they also found monuments also. That one people are a little. I personally believe it's a possibility, just like probably Nilesh do. The one in Africa, on the, I think the western side of Africa, I believe that's where it is. You can even Google it or go to Google Earth and look for it. But they're actually, as you know, artifacts and places that are designed in a such way, like in a circular design. They've started finding cities similar to that design. There's also more recently, I think they also built a city in India, in South India, right, bro? There's a place that they designed the city similar to Atlantis, right, with the circle.
No. You're getting.
Is it in
You're
South
getting
India?
wrong.
Where is it?
No. Yeah, it's in South India, but it's not a we are building like it or based on Atlantis. It's like a community where there is a no religion.
What is it called? Auroville?
Auroville.
So, but it's like circular. The design is like there's like multiple concentric circles in that like small city.
I have not tell about like how started my journey, means how came into this AI NFT.
Uh-huh.
because we have gone something for other that
Right,
stories,
right.
ethical stories. Yeah, yeah. So I want to put light upon that.
Go
Na?
ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I will take just 2 minutes. So this March 2022, I started my NFT journey after studying and researching this AI, and I thought like AI also can make this art. Okay, I am not an artist, but what had in my mind, I can put that in this as a prompt through this AI, and it will make me images. So many also there is also a misconfusion about many of the people like, okay, in the AI art you just wrote those little words and art will come up. No, it's not like that. There is so much to do. There is so much to do.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
work. Yeah, there's a
there's a
lot
lot
of
of
work
work.
on that. I learned from him too. We worked together. But yeah, carry on, bro.
Yeah, and from that, from there, I slowly I came to about like this NFT, and I researched many like software and use to do it, and I came up with some of the software, and I created that images, what's in my mind, and how can express my stories to everybody can know that what I'm thinking, and this is my story, and from this I can from this image or something like animation I can tell you about my story or what I think about it. So yeah, and slowly I came to know about like these were the softwares, but there are something like more far ahead, which we call like Google Colab. The software I'm telling, it's a basics, it's just a basic, anyone can do in this world, anyone can do. Just type a 1 to 3 words, it's gonna create image. But that image is like never give a like message or something like from that image what you want to uh, tell you about the audience or peoples. So after that I came to know about like this Google Colab. It's uh, Python code. It's a huge long and long, it's a, and there are many variations going on through, and yeah, it's good to be work out on that. And as you know what, we and Vasuvian, we created a video of like 3 to 4 minutes or something, 5 to 6 minutes, like, and
8
it
minutes,
took
bro.
us,
8 minutes.
yeah, yeah, and it took us around 7 days, and these 7 days were 24/7, whole 24/7. It's our PC were working.
We literally felt like the first ever card slot computer from the 50s or 60s, the supercomputers back then, where
Yeah,
it processed like maybe a day or two to get one information in
one
a punch card.
information.
So we
Yeah,
feel like that, and it still feels great, right, bro? Because it's like we're at the beginning of a new technology that we're
yeah.
using, and someday people are gonna talk, maybe not about us. Hope I don't know. Maybe they will.
Actually, you know,
But
Vasuvian.
Vasuvian. Then other some of our other friends, Jeremy. He's also a great AI artist, and some others. AI Joe. They're gonna talk about us. They were the first ever people to do these kinds of things, and others also,
Yeah,
like the ones who
yeah.
actually wrote the codes. I don't recall some of their names. You
Reverse
remember some?
wrappings.
What were some of the names, bro? Because you know them better.
Catherine Carlson.
Catherine, Soma,
Yeah,
uh, some of
they were
the
the beginner.
they were the
They were the
builders,
beginner. They were
right?
the
The
builders of
beginners of
this
the Google
Python
Cloud,
code.
right?
Yeah,
And then people
and
started modifying. There's like Disco
yeah.
Diffusion now, Dali, which is
Now, yeah,
by Elon Musk's group,
Elon Musk. Yeah, no,
and
it's
then
Dali. Dali is not by Open AI. Is by Elon Musk.
but Google Colab is also open source, right?
No, that yeah, it's an open source, but there is something like because on OpenAI it's something like it's a website, or we can something like do or create something on
But
this
what I want to
OpenAI. But
say,
these Google,
you were actually one of the first to start working on it. Like, let me also put in a little more emphasis. He actually started his NFT journey with this kind of technology. 4 or 5 months ago. So just imagine, I started just a few months ago, and we've been working on our project like this one in the background I was just talking about. This is part of the Vasuvia project that we're working on currently. But he started his AI NFT journey with AI art because he was looking for it. And the wonderful thing is, anything and everything is possible, that I believe. And that's what I believe.
Yeah,
And if you have a passion for something, now there's so many information out there. You can go to Google and other places. You just search whatever you want to do
yeah.
research on. Hopefully everything is
Bro,
that you're doing is possible.
what I want to tell, like when I was searching about it, I haven't a clue like where if I found can this result on Google, what I'm searching, because there is a algorithm like we have need have combinations. But well, okay, it's something I got from Google and something I got from YouTube, and from that slowly I came to up, and now I'm here, like I'm creating like something amazing videos, and I know. And at that time I was just a basics person, but now, yeah, I know means how it's gonna work and how these yeah, bro.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And if you want to learn more about, obviously we're gonna have links for Nilesh's stuff, both personal and our combined project. You'll see mine also, but I'll still recommend check his work out. It's amazing, and a lot of his work. You can go to his Twitter account, which we'll post in the description of this episode, and it's amazing. Some of the new stuff that he's doing is amazing. His Instagram account also has a whole bunch of examples of some of the works he has done. It's just plain amazing. I was just so happy to find him. And initially, we didn't even connect just because he was an NFT artist, but some of the things that we mutually shared in belief about, like beings and life.
Yeah. That yeah,
So
that what I want to
that's
ask
that's
about
what
you.
that's how we connected, right, bro? So
Yeah,
so it's amazing, once you find some people who you can relate with, the conversation starts deepening more, and the relationship and the work that we do together deepens even more, and you have more passion to work with someone who has mutual beliefs and mutual interest on some certain topics. So, was there anything else you wanted to share, bro, before you wanna or
no
you
no
wanna
no
ask questions?
no, I have so many questions for you.
Okay, let's go.
Because I have already told
We're
my
gonna try
journey.
to. I'm gonna try to do as much as possible. Oh, what just happened? I lost your
Actually,
video feed, bro.
दादा means let go हो गया.
Your electricity went away.
Yeah.
Okay, कोई problem नहीं, bro. So you it's all good. At least they got to see you while you were talking about your project. But yeah, go ahead and ask your questions, bro. And if it helps you save electric battery life on your phone, just turn off the video on your phone until the light comes back.
Let me means if I can do like something torch or something.
You use a torch, but don't make people look at it like creepy and everything, with underneath your chin like a ghost or something. So
No,
no, people
it's
might
not
see
gonna
something
work out.
behind you, like
It's
another
no
being.
no. Yeah, there is front torch चालू होता ही नहीं है, क्या करेगा?
No, it's okay, bro. Just go ahead
Yeah,
and turn off your. Oh, I see some light. It looks like some.
yeah. I'm on my means torch.
It's all good, bro. Just go ahead and um, turn off your video, and
Yeah,
then and let's go ahead and you can ask me any questions you have, bro.
yeah. Means I have same question for you. Like, how did you believe in me when I was
How did
creating NFTs and my stories, something like that? Okay.
Uh-huh.
because I was creating about like reptilians and the images I was creating. And you know what? Yeah, and even I'm surprised. I shouldn't have told, but I'm super excited to told about like when I created these images now. I have sold within when I don't know how to use a Twitter or something like pin the tweet or something like that, but my images were getting sold at that time. In the very first beginning of month, I have sold like 4 images. Oh my god. Yeah, and then I connected you, but it's a mystery for me till now. Like, how did you find me and how did you connect with me with my stories, and how did you like started AI journey?
My journey, as some of you know, first of all, I was a musician. I'm still a musician. I'm a music producer now. I started off as a singer and songwriter, and some of you know call it. It's an Asian drum called tabla. So I've been playing those drums since early '90s. So almost it's actually literally 30 years already. So
Mhm.
wow, I didn't even think about it. It's 92, I believe. So it's been almost 30 years since I've been playing the tabla. Every now and then I still play it, but I started out as a singer-songwriter, and from both my side of my family, they're very pious and religious. But my from my mother's side, they're also into mysticism and Sufism. I'm not saying like I'm like a mystic or a Sufi or anything. I do my own due diligence as much as possible by being as spiritual as possible. I have my own uh, set of beliefs about spirituality and whatnot. But the story, that's kind of one of the reasons I've been always interested in that. But I've also, since my childhood, always been interested into space, technology, life out there, other life forms, other places. Uh, so I had a belief in those kinds of things since my childhood, and always, even to this day, I would always keep looking in the sky whenever possible. So I still do that. I still look up in the sky almost every night, sometimes even during the morning. Just I feel a connection, like I need to be somewhere else. If it's possible, if I get a ticket, for example, to Mars, I might just go ahead and take it and go to Mars. So that's how I started my journey. But I started telling this story to my kids. Uh, this is right before COVID, around November, December of 2019. Um, and it started off like a kid's story, and then started things started happening. One thing led to the another. Uh, and the story was about beings, from one planet being destroyed by another who are actually part of the same group, which is the planet Vasuvia, which this project relates to also. Um, and one set of those beings had something similar to what Neelesh, aka Ruzakan, was doing. He actually adopted the name Ruzakan from the story because I told him, bro, a lot of the things that you're doing are very similar to what these groups of beings are doing. And he said, that's amazing, bro. And this is after we started keep on talking about it. But the way I got interested in Nilesh's work is because uh, one day it just popped into my setting, and I actually still remember I just shared some of his work and he got excited. Oh, Vasuvian shared my work. Wow. And I said, yeah, bro, because your work is very amazing. Here's the interesting thing. For some reason, I didn't even think that he was from India. I thought he was like from a European country back then. Because of the way the art that he was doing, I actually until recently, I'm a Desi too, but I haven't seen, at least in the NFT world, any Desis doing the kind of art and AI art that he was doing, and at least until later on. So that was amazing. So I got interested and I ran into his work. I don't know if it was from one of the Twitter spaces from one of my friends' space. I think it was Bavugar. I think I saw some of his work over there or something, or some other space. I just remember I ran into his work and I just loved it. And I started to feel the connection about the type of drawings that he was doing. It was very similar to what I was describing in the story to my kids, which eventually became this huge project now for us, the Vasuvia project. And so I contacted him, and I remember I was driving for a checkup, a health checkup out of town, and I called him. It was like a 3.5 hour drive. We literally spoke the whole way to that out of town place, like almost 3 hours, and we kept on going and going. And yeah, it was just amazing, how one thing led to
Yeah,
another.
and that was the first time we spoke. That was the
The
first
first
time
time,
we have a, yeah,
yeah, the
at that
first
time
time we
I,
spoke also, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we kept on going and going, and we just connected. And the more I spoke to him, and the more I learned about Nilesh, because he had some similar experiences where people every now and then in his community or in his village wouldn't necessarily believe. We don't blame them, because that's how a lot of people grew up, and you have to respect their belief, because through tradition, culture, religion, whatever it is, through their teachings for generations after generations, they've learned that, and obviously they believe that because of that, because it's the tendency of human beings. I'm not saying everyone, but it is the tendency of human beings to depend on some of the beliefs that others believe. Especially if majority of the people believe, there's still always a tendency for some people to start believing and holding to those beliefs firmly. So we cannot blame, because people haven't seen anything else majority of their lives. So that's why they are always keen or to incline towards the things that they have been believing for years and generations through their forefathers, through and so on. So he had some similar experiences. I had some similar. He actually still openly spoke a lot about that, and he had some emotional experiences. I normally didn't speak a lot. I was a very introverted person. Nilesh, he's not necessarily introverted. He has sometimes he feels a language barrier, but I hope you probably have seen he does speak a really good English. And I didn't have to translate, right? Before the interview started, say Dada, that means brother in Desi terms, in Hindi terms, and say Dada, make sure that you translate everything for me a little, uh, so that I don't have trouble, people don't have trouble understanding. I didn't have to do a lot of that. So that was the good thing about it. Today, he basically spoke very well. And so yeah, that's how our journey started. We started uh, connecting on that day, and it kept on going. But that's how I got interested on your work, bro. And the rest is history, at least for us. It's history in the making. I started this project initially myself, getting into NFTs. I also had some personal experiences, and the story about Vasuvia was, even if people don't believe that something like that might exist, uh, even if people think there's a science fiction, it has a very strong connection to what's happening in the real world, or the way that we call it real, as a lot of people do, where people are always fighting based on their own insecurity about life, which is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people sometimes, it's a growing process as a human being, and a lot of people sometimes out of insecurity gets into a mode of fear, a mode of anger, and then also more a mode of power and domination. They think that we need to save ourselves, and it's okay to take care of yourself. But some people think that if we don't go over and take control of everything, everyone is going to try to control. and we won't be able to survive. That's not the thing. The way it works is when people understand that we are all one and the same. We're like mirror reflection of each other. It's all about oneness, and once we understand the concept of oneness, that we're all in this together, and we try to help each other out, we're going to see that we're going to feel more happiness if we help others. If others feel sad, we're going to start feeling sad because we're going to be part of like one single being. That's how we're going to start feeling. I'm not necessarily saying that is the case. It may be a higher spiritual level, maybe it is, I don't know. But when oneness is talked about, that means we're all in this together, at least in layman terms. And that's what's significant. So that's what this project, this Vasuvia story represented. So I always tell people it is based on true story, one way or another. That's how it started. I started it initially myself, and then I decided that we need to go ahead and expand it. That's when Neelesh came in. Then we have two other wonderful people who are working with us in this project. Uh, Hoodie Fan, aka David, Marta Milenko, who's another wonderful, wonderful artist uh, and 3D designer, real life product, IRL or in real life product designer. She's part of our team as well. So that's how the Vasuvia project got more bigger. And this is the result of it. This uh, series that we just started on YouTube is also part of the result of this. This project, which is now in the form of like membership NFT tokens, which if you become a member, you get certain benefit, not just able to collect NFTs from all four of us artists, at least for now. There possibly will be eventually more artists that are going to be involved, but also like meta concerts, meta conferences. A lot of the conferences, NFT conferences that are happening are in real life. We're planning to get them into the metaverse. So it's going to be more reasonably priced, more people affordable also, but also more educational stuff. Uh, Hopefully more than what's happening in the real world now that we can bring in on a reasonable way. And then so many others. Our AI animation, where that Neelesh or Ruzakan has been talking about, and I've been talking about. We actually are in the process of starting a series, and our first episode is going to be coming out very soon, like in about a week or two, hopefully. We've been working on behind the scenes every now and then amidst personal matters or health related or life matters, but we've been keeping pushing and pushing, never giving up, so that we focus more on quality, not just quantity or just time. So we're doing our best to do that. So there's an AI animation series that's going to be available on YouTube, but it's also going to be specifically, there are going to be certain contents available for the members of the project. And there's just so many more because we want to focus on oneness by bringing all these benefits together where people can take advantage of them just from one place and can experience them together. That's the wonderful part of it. So yeah, bro, that's how it started. I know we went over a little bit more than that.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's how the Vasuvia project started, at least.
yeah. And my last question, and you also ask me this question, okay?
Okay.
What's your future planning for this Vasuvia project?
Future planning. There is just, it's endless, bro. There's no end to it. Because I know that eventually, even if it ends in on Twitter, or it ends up in the real world in the form of a movie or a TV series, or even in the NFT world as a movie or TV series, and then people think it's done. I don't think it's going to be done because the story behind it is so much related to our lives and to help people grow. We're going to be taking part of it with us wherever we go. So let's say in the next 5 years or 10 years, if the Twitter project stops and or whatever we're doing on Twitter or the Vasuvia project with NFT, if it's even slows down, the rest of the things the ideas, the education that we gain through it, the friendship that we bring to it will be making even more. So my thing is not like to necessarily only make profit out of it. It's a
Okay.
way for us to grow together. That is my eventual goal with this project, to show that people, not necessarily show, to do something where eventually people are continue to work together, focus on helping each other rather than, toppling over each other, like going over each other, competing with each other all the time. No, we are all in this together. We grow together and we survive together positively and successfully. But the main success here will be being happy together. Don't bother about sadness or anything. If there's any issues in each of our lives, will always try to help each other out. And it's not going to be like a small group. That's why I'm always trying not to make it a group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's open to everyone. Everyone is invited. Even if if it's possible, like they're saying, they're trying to what is it called, explore life outside. Maybe they'll find something in Mars, or maybe some other beings contact us eventually in the future, where when if we're lucky, if we're still here, we might get
yeah,
to
yeah,
sit and
yeah,
listen.
yeah,
Even if we are not here, people that are gonna still talk about Vesuvians, that's what they stand for, because everyone is a Vesuvian. That's why I always say I'm just a Vesuvian like all of us, because we're all in this together. That's what
yeah.
the word Vesuvian is about, because we are all part of the same consciousness. We're all connected together. So yeah, man, that's my goal. I know it's a little too lengthy, but that's my goal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this because what you said now means I've already means seen that like there are many other persons also, like they are contacting like from other beings. I don't know how they are contacting, like maybe certain from telepathy, or they are giving some knowledge to like some selected humans, like they can spread our their words. So yeah, and there is and it's also not like only one species are doing this. There are so many species out there, outside our, maybe it's inside our galaxy, outside our galaxy, or outside our solar system. We don't know, but they are connecting and they are giving message to us humans. These are the things we are tapping, or these are the things we know. Like at least start this something, spread these words.
Yeah,
Like when
that's
we,
that's possible, bro. And when we say beings, people, that's why I don't like to use the word aliens.
yeah,
Beings could be the same beings we're talking about with different terms. It could be, we might think about, like people say, ultra terrestrials, extraterrestrials, ultra dimensional, extra dimensional, multidimensional. They could be
multi
similar
humans. Yeah,
beings that we're talking about, which also includes angels, and some other beings that different religious texts or cultures believe in. They probably exist, like we were talking about Thor, and Zeus and Hercules, and so many other cultural notations about the Noah. Also from different cultures, there's similar stories also, not just for religion.
every culture,
Culture, yeah,
in the
the
whole the
whole.
world, there is a Noah, and there is a Leher, means what I
Yeah,
say.
there's like a lore and a story and legend about all of them. So what basically we're saying, it could be any of them. But eventually maybe they're all gonna we'll start knowing about them and whatnot. But I'm sorry, bro, I'm forgetting my words now. Sometimes that happens. But what we were talking about, bro? You
This
were asking a question.
these beings.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like calling them beings, because I mean I don't like calling them aliens or anything. Because beings mean everyone, everything and everyone. It sounds funny, but including the planet we live in, the chair we sit in, the table we have dinner with, everything. has a vibration of life in them. They might not be perceivable or communicative, so to speak, for a lack of better words, in the way that we communicate. But I believe, like, where a lot of people have been successful in doing telepathy or psychically connect with different objects or move objects, that is because they're not necessarily controlling them. That is because they broke the barrier of communication and they're able to communicate with those objects or the protons and neutrons and energy particles that are making those objects. And because people are able to communicate with them and say, hey, would you be kind enough to move? And then the glass might move. Would you be able to produce a cloud in the sky? And the cloud might create. Or can you tell me what's going to happen next? And the energy particles around you might say, you know what, this is one of the possibilities that could happen, not necessarily will happen, but could happen. And then eventually something similar happens. So it's because of the communication channel. And one of the best way to be successful or be able to do that is love. Once you start loving everything around you, not just everything, but yourself, you're able to communicate with everything and everyone around you much better than ever before. So yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to say. Are you getting disconnected, Mr. Nilesh, or the light went away again?
Yeah, because it's here. It's raining so much hard,
Yeah,
and
because
the
of the
clouds.
weather. At
Yeah,
least the
yeah,
sound, your sound quality is coming pretty well, bro. And at least we've been able to carry on with this for some time. We had some rain over here recently, so totally understand, bro. There was some wonderful, interesting weather phenomena that's been happening. But
means I have also read in a news like 1 or 2 days ago, like in the US or something, like at the part of America, there were uh, green something like that, green clouds or green surrounding
we're
that
gonna,
can
I
be.
have to do a little more research on that, but I had some experience the last couple of days during the weather, and I wasn't sure
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
was
Because
happening.
whole because the whole environment was like there was a green. Whole even I have got that images and that Google News. So I thought,
The
wow.
last time I saw a green cloud was where? Do you want to know? This was
Yeah, sure.
in the 90s. So guess where I was? In the 90s, mid 90s, I think. Guess where I was in South Asia, in my native country, in Bangladesh. A lot of people don't believe it, but I saw green clouds back then. Literally, the sky went green when the lightnings were happening. So
Oh,
I was
oh.
amazed. A lot of my family members were amazed, like, why are we seeing green cloud? I don't know what causes it. If it was some science phenomenon, whatever it was. Uh, yeah, that was the first time I actually saw that happening. So yeah, bro. We need to discuss about that next time when we have
Yeah,
another episode. If you would, then, bro, mute it. Let's go ahead and share some videos. The first
sure,
video
sure,
that we're
sure.
gonna share, the first video that we're gonna share is about the project, an introduction about the project that we have, and you guys will to get to see this video, and then after that, we'll play a trailer of the new Vasuvia AI animation series that is coming up very soon. So hold your horses real quick. I'm about to share the screen. So here's the video. It's an intro about the Vasuvia project.
Why are we here? Who are we? Is there a purpose for intelligent beings? We're living in the third dimension, which is something like a matrix, but there are others already living beyond the third dimension. Vasuvia, a planet once considered a beacon of hope, eventually becomes a beacon of hope, following its attempted destruction by the Ruzakans and its eventual transcendence to a higher plane of existence, a higher dimension. Phase 1 of the Vasuvia project was launched in the form of NFT artworks to introduce everyone the story of Vasuvia, the story of us, as is portrayed and exemplified through real-life events that had been and still occurring around our own planet, Earth. Phase 2 is an expansion of the project in the form of membership NFT tokens, beyond just animated and non-animated artworks, such as meta concerts, meta and real-life NFT conferences in the future, music albums, IRL products, and many more in the future, to bring more focus on oneness through peace, love, and harmony. This is the Vasuvia project, the story of us. We are all Vasuvians, one of many, many of one of many, many as one.
So that was a video, an intro video. That's an introduction about the project. If you'd like to know a little bit more about some of, at least the NFT artworks and some of the benefits that you get, like the NFT tokens, a little bit like a snippet of it. There's a gallery. If you go to, I'll put my Koji link, or my kind of like my Linktree link over here, and the gallery link, the special gallery link. There's a room over there in the special gallery link. It's the gallery is called Vega Vault. That's one of the art galleries that I have, and you can go there and check out the room, and there is some snippet videos inside that room. It's the Vasuvian project room, and you'll notice it. There's a little logo. It's a central room in that gallery. It's a wonderful gallery. I'm very happy to be able to share some of the also art that I adopted. And I don't like calling it collecting. I just call it adopted from different artists as well. So be sure to check that out. And the next video we're going to play, it's something that we premiered on Twitter and I believe on Instagram some time back. It's a trailer video, and as I said, our first episode is coming very soon, and this is a trailer video of the series itself, and it's on YouTube. So if you want to play it in this video, obviously you get to see it while I share it, but you can also see it on YouTube as well. So here is the video about Vasuvia.
There once was a planet, purple planet, where the birds of varying rainbow colors flapped their wings in sparkles, where the fish, big and small, swam and flew, where the light beings walked on water and glowed, among others, in purple, pink, white, and blue, where the crystalline trees floated on land, a planet as was and still called Vasuvia.
Okay, so that was a trailer about the Vasuvia animation series, AI animation series that's going to be launching on YouTube very, very soon. And there's going to be some special things that's going to be available for the members of the token as well. So, including possibly purchasing some of the web series um, as NFTs. So that's like for a different tire. There's actually I won't even say about it. When you get to check out the Vega Vault, check out the video about the Tier 3 token for the Vasuvia project in the Vasuvian room or the Vasuvia project room. And there's something special because there is not just 3 tiers of tokens. So, but that has some more special opportunities once you become a member of that tier. So, yeah, so wanted to share those two. I know we went actually quite long, almost an hour and a half, which we were not meaning to. But as I said, this is our first episode, so obviously we wanted to introduce a little bit more than usual. And Mr. Ruzakan, as you've seen, he has a lot more to share about his life, and it was a really wonderful, bro, to learn all about the different types of work that you have done and also your life. So yeah, bro, did you want to share, bro, anything before we end today's episode?
Yeah, I want to tell all my audience and who are viewing this video, like, that's my personal views. I don't know whether you are like believing it or not, but I think the God, what we called God, or what we worship, nowadays there are different gods. But have you asked yourself, are these are gods or these are spiritual or something like that beings who are giving message? Because all gods are giving us the same messages. So ask yourself, have we humans divided gods, or God message was one that he want to give all our humans? Just ask yourself. Yeah.
That's an interesting question. So yes, I know some people are going to try to share some interesting comments, but keep an open mind. That's all I'm going to say. And it's okay to do that. And more you keep an open mind, it's much more feasible for us to work together in peace and harmony and through love, respecting each other's opinions, respecting each other's beliefs, because at the end of the day, we are focusing primarily on beliefs, including what we consider as fact or factual is changing with every moment or every few moments of our lives. So please keep that in your heart, not just your mind, that life as we know it is evolving and changing with every moment we live. I wouldn't even use the word time, because to some people, time is kind of an illusion. It's based on what we understand life is as we know it. So, without further ado, thank you. Not without further ado. I'm just going to say thank you so much for everyone for watching today's episode, and we will see or hopefully have all of you join us in our next episode of Space and Spaces, a talk show about spirituality, science, and technology. And be sure to subscribe our YouTube channel, or this YouTube channel, the MQ Musician channel, and click the notification bell button so you stay up to date, and also react as it seems feasible for you, not just as a fun thing, whatever you feel in your heart. React or comment, because that's, I believe, how the YouTube algorithm works. The more you interact with a video, the possibilities you'll learn more about what are the contents we're sharing, particularly for this new episode web series that we just started. So until next time, this is MQ Musician, aka Vasuvian, your host, and my co-host or future co-host for a lot of the upcoming episodes, Neelesh, aka Ruzakan. Signing off.